A love supreme, a love supreme. I don't want to do too much today, guys. Hi, welcome. Welcome to the Blossom and Rise podcast. Welcome. um, my throat feels like it's on fire almost. I am battling an ongoing sinus infection, but I definitely wanted to get this podcast episode out to you today to remain consistent. That's been my goal. I've been doing really well, and sorry, there's a gnat if you're watching this visually. It's getting on my nerves. I want to first just thank all my subscribers, those that are following the podcast here, either on YouTube, Substack, Amazon Music, or Audible, or Spotify. I just want to thank you for following me. Right now on Spotify, I believe I have 14 followers, subscribers, and I'm just shouting you out. Thank you so much for the support, and I'm looking to grow. So, and I'm also being featured on other podcasts as well, and I will include them here. Or you know what? I may not include them here on this podcast, but share them on my YouTube channel. So if you're not following me on YouTube, Blossom and Rise, hit that subscribe. Anywho, so today we're going to be talking about finding peace within the chaos, okay? How surrendering can help in uncertain times. And by golly, these are uncertain times, okay? So let's just get into it, okay? So, yes, we've been covering A Love Supreme by John Coltrane, right? We're going to look at again Psalms because Psalms, that song is an energy of being quiet, right? It's also meditative. And when you're in meditation, you are surrendering. You are in the present moment, the most present moment ever. Okay. When people say, I can't meditate, I can't do this, I can't do that, you're self-limiting yourself. You have the innate ability to meditate. You just need to learn how, right? It's a muscle. Spiritual development is a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. Yes. I just graduated a client from therapy, and we worked on increasing her intuition for her highest best. And I deemed it as her superpower because she was very intuitive. And the fact that she was just so open to have that in session, I'm like, yes, yes, we're going to capitalize on this because it is. Excuse me. We all have that ability to tap into our intuition at any given moment for any given reason. Okay. So if you're listening to A Love Supreme, I just want you to imagine just visualizing yourself, just turning on the song Psalms and just having it play in the background. You know, I can't do it because of copyright issues, right? I don't want this podcast banned or deleted or anything. Okay. But just take a listen to it. Okay. Because discovering peace and clarity through stillness and surrendering control to the divine, blossom and rising. Okay. Blossom and rising. So why is stillness so powerful? Okay. Stillness creates space for divine guidance. And when I talk about divine guidance, yes, prayer is great. So prayer is when you talk to God consciousness or, God or whatever you call that higher power. Meditation is when you listen, right? And then you can go even further in meditation where you create a sacred space. I have created a video on my YouTube channel. I'm going to see if I can, I don't know which way, this way, so that you can see, so that you can review the meditation. It's a meditation just to create a sacred space. For instance, my sacred space in the woods. I create it in the forest because that's where my soul is, and that's where I live too. But creating a sacred space that you can go to so you can transition from this to the next, and then create it however you want it. Like I have a gazebo, and that's where I meet my grandmother in spirit. Sometimes I meet my guides there. And then I have other aspects within the off of the immediate garden or forest or whatnot. And so that's within your control, right? that's within your control. And within the divine guidance, you can start building a relationship with your higher self. Okay. I keep saying that because it's super important. Your higher self is your actual consciousness, your soul that has lived ever since it's been created. It would be overwhelming for us to access all that information all the time. So it saves place within our higher selves and we can access knowledge and guidance at any time. Okay. And or divine guidance, you can communicate with God consciousness, your ancestors, your spirit team, however it is, whatever it is, for your highest best. That's why stillness is so powerful because you have to quiet the mind, quiet the ego, and allow spirit to speak. All right. It also helps us release control and trust in the flows of life when we're able to be still. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to keep it 100. I still struggle with being present. Being present, because my ego is like, I have to control something. I have to do this. I have to do that. Instead of just sitting with it, sitting in patience, surrendering to the moment. That's still a lesson that I'm constantly learning myself, right? Um, I am one who's not afraid to say that I'm still learning. All right. I'm still one that's saying I am on this journey too, right? I'm not going to be a podcaster. I'm not going to be a spiritual mentor that says that I know everything. I don't need to learn anything else, or I don't need to develop anymore. That's nonsensical. Okay, this soul, my soul, came to incarnate on this planet for a purpose, and is to learn and experience and serve my soul's purpose. Okay, during conscious talks like these that we're having, or through my mediumship, or through intuitive tarot messages, or doing therapy. Like, that's me serving my soul's purpose, right? Um, but going back to topic with releasing control, I think that's like almost like a superpower that we can all master, but it just takes time, right? Control that ego, just going with the flow of life. My fiance is really good with that, and I envy that about him sometimes. But he can get me back. He tries to shift me back when I'm too much in the ego, too much in the mind, too much in my masculine energy. It's like you need to flow more in the feminine, just be more like, tap into that intuitiveness that you have, right? Stop fretting, stop stressing over things. Yes, especially now, what's happening in this country and all over the world with the immigration policies and getting away with eliminating DEI and getting rid of inspector generals. It's crazy. I mean, if you actually paid attention to Project 2025, it's all spelled out there. And a lot of people were saying that it wasn't real. Well, is what happening now, is that real? That's what I would ask. That's what I'm asking. The more you know, right? The more open you are, the more conscientious you are, we see what's coming. We see it's here, right? And it's really important to not remain in a fear state. That's what we can control. So being in stillness, finding that peace within chaos is imperative at this time. Imperative. And I feel like there's been times where I am in and out of this frequency, this higher level frequency that I find myself in. And if you're finding yourself in a peaceful, calmness space amidst of the chaos, that's the high frequency. That is the collective rising up. Now is the time, okay? Now, Coltrane's expression of grace was reflected in the song Psalms. Okay, it's Psalm, not Psalms. It's one. Um, but yes, and I so wish that I could just play that song right now. But all I can say is a love supreme, a love supreme, because I can't get copyrighted on that. Oh, so sorry, my throat is almost on fire. It's, but I'm gonna finish this podcast because I love you guys and thank you again for supporting me. But surrendering to, he also learned how to surrender, right? A Love Supreme is all about his journey of spiritual enlightenment and allowing himself to release his past in order to move forward. Oftentimes, we like to hold on to things because we feel like we need them, right? But it's due to fear. Just like, I'm going to pull out my tarot deck really quick. And it would be so great if I saw the card that I'm thinking of right here, like top tier. Top on the list here, but it's not. I was thinking of this one, but it's not this one. If you think you know what card I'm talking about, what energy I'm talking about in the tarot deck, I invite you to comment down below, and let me know what you're picking up on. And then obviously I'm getting ready to show you once I find it. Um, Here it is right here. It is the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. You can see that black and gold. It's my favorite tarot deck if you're watching this. You see how this man, he's got four pentacles on him, two at his feet. He's holding one in his arm, in his arms, and he's like, his arms are circling around the pentacle, and then we have one right on the top of his head. Okay, so that for me is control and unwillingness for change because you think that you know best, right? And then when you actively are trying to control things, you're telling God consciousness, universal consciousness, what you feel is best, right? It's like, okay, well, I'm asking for help. And then when help comes, I'm going to say no because I know what's best. And that help may be guiding you to do something different, to go in a different direction. But because you're so tied up on your beliefs and what you know is best, you miss out on that opportunity that one time, right? I do believe that spirit will always continue to help us, whether we accept it or not. But the Four of Pentacles, sorry, it's not the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, it is. It's the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles energy is like that. It's almost like hoarding energy to me. It's like, what do we need to release here? Right? And then it's that control. And if we look at what's happening in the United States with our government, there's nothing that we can actually tangibly control. The only thing that we can control is we advocate for ourselves and our communities, stay true to our communities as far as like don't allow them to dismantle us, right? Um, and fight dark with light, all right? Being compassionate, loving others despite of, all right? Showing kindness to others, right? Praying for others, sending light to others. I will share this personal story with you. I was working when I first came into the mental health field, and I was working with this very challenging client. I mean, this client had a personality disorder. Intuitively, I pick up on that clinically, and it's irritation for me. And so I'm like, okay, so I checked that out. I'm like, okay, I know where this is coming from. So this client was up to their antics, and they came into the staff office where I was just complaining about this and that. And I looked at the client and I just saw bright pink light surrounding the client. I'm just radiating it towards the client. And do you know this client stopped talking and then just stared at me, just went like this to me? And he was, they were quiet. And he got up, they got up and walked out of the staff office. I do believe that he didn't consciously have a word for what he was experiencing, but he experienced something. Control. I saw that that person was struggling, and so I couldn't do anything to tangibly help him at that time because he was talking to somebody else. I wasn't in the conversation, but I just sent him some love, and it was received. So that's little things like that that you can do. Okay. Um, But it's important to create a routine around it or a ritual around it, okay? Creating a daily stillness ritual, okay? Like 5 minutes, just like being still for 5 minutes. You can go grounding outside on grass if you guys have grass. I mean, everyone has grass. Did you know that grass was not native here? It was brought here from another country. Yeah. I don't know what country. Maybe England, I think. Wouldn't be surprised, but it's not natural in California. Or so I heard. I heard that from a nature walk that I did last summer. I went to a state park, and the guide told us that. I said, "Wow, that's interesting." Like, yeah, the more you know. But yeah, so going back to topic, practicing stillness. I also created a guided meditation that I released on my Subs. Oh, I haven't released it yet, but it's in draft. So if you're not following me on Substack, I really recommend that you do Blossom and Rise there, because my second tier, I will be dropping more spiritual development resources and tools. And so if that's something that you're interested in, join my free subscribers. Okay, I release a lot of um, resources on there as well, but I will be releasing a guided meditation. So just to help facilitate growth into meditation, especially if you're reluctant or you feel like you're not able to do it. You are able to do it. Stop telling yourself that. Stop saying limiting beliefs. We're not doing that here. Okay. You can also use visualization techniques to imagine handing over your worries to a higher power. Just like get it all up and just be like, oh, thank you. Okay, thank you for taking that load off of me. Or you can imagine all of your stress and anxieties leaving your body through your root down to the earth to be transmuted into loving and healing energy. That's also a technique that you can use. Okay. I'm curious, what techniques do you use when you're stressed out? Any type of mindfulness exercises? Comment down below. I would love to hear. Okay. So I want you to create this mantra before I leave you. Okay. I surrender to divine wisdom and timing. Okay. I surrender to divine wisdom and timing. Okay. Yes. Write it on a sticky note, like post it up, put it on your phone as an alarm for the week, practice that for the week, okay? And, do this nightly. Do this nightly for yourself because you deserve it. We are growing, we are blossoming and rising, okay? And remember, Blossom into My Power is a 12-week course. It's going to be opening February 23rd. Okay. The waitlist is now open with an exclusive discount. So if you're interested, don't wait till the last minute to join. Okay. Check it out. The link will be down in the description. Okay. I'm going to rest my throat because it is sore and I need to rest. I'm listening to my body. So thank you for joining me. I will see you again next week. If this was helpful for you, please go ahead and share to whoever you feel like would benefit from the message from today. Okay. Finding peace within the chaos, right? We all need that. And then sharing also helps the podcast grow. Okay. So I will see you again next week, or you'll hear from me again next week. Bye for now.